The acquisition of the CIBC First Caribbean Bank operations in 4 Eastern Caribbean countries by indigenous banks is seen as a progressive step by some. But concerns are being raised that with the departure of international banks from the region, the third in recent times, banking options for consumers are dwindling. However, one senior Caribbean banking professional, Michael Archibald, disagrees. He was speaking on a Carib Update News Service report recently on the acquisition of First Caribbean.
You have less, but you have enough remaining that it should not really be an issue. In Grenada, you'll have 3 banks. That means only 100,000 of us. We don't really need more than 3 banks if the banks are to be strong and successful. So while technically there are less banks, but it should not really be a problem for the local citizenship.
Mr. Archibald believes the acquisition will have much benefit for banking customers.
I think it's a positive development because it increases local and regional ownership of the financial services sector, and that increases the retention of profits in the region and reduces some aspects of what is called the extractor economy. Remember, size is important in the financial services sector. One, you have the whole matter of ability to access the necessary resources to attract some more highly qualified and experienced human resources. The ability to attract or to access additional resources to manage the challenges of the increasing levels of financial regulation and the variety of risks that we see today. It improved the benefits of economies of scale. You also have the expansion and diversification of fee income. And finally, I want to mention the increase in size and therefore the level of business that is channeled through local banks puts them in a better position to hold those discussions with the correspondent banks who have been threatening to de-risk us. So there are a number of benefits that will come from this increasing consolidation of local and regional financial institutions.
Meanwhile, Mr. Archibald commented on why more international banks are leaving the Caribbean.
We're seeing a retreat from the Eastern Caribbean Currency Union sub-region by the large international financial institutions, and maybe even a retreat from the entire Caribbean. And they cite a number of reasons. I mean, we can analyze them. We might not agree with them, but the reasons they cite, they say increasing risk. They cite lower profitability. And then, of course, you have strategic realignments where they have made decisions about strategically where they prefer to operate from a risk-reward point of view. So you have all these reasons, but the reality is there's a retreat from the region. And that is opening the door for our local, regional financial institutions, which I think is good.
Last week, it was announced that the St. Kitts and Nevis Anguilla National Bank is one of 4 Eastern Caribbean indigenous banks that is part of a consortium of leading banks in the Eastern Caribbean Currency Union that will be taking over the CIBC First Caribbean branches in Dominica, Grenada, St. Kitts and Nevis, and St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Audrey Huey, SKN Newsline.